All right, so from chapter 10's mastery section, number 6, I want to simplify each expression. Okay, so I want to simplify the square root of 40, so what do I do?
Break it apart.
Break it apart, right? Factor it into pieces. So this is the square root of, what's 40?
8 times 5 or 10 times 4.
So I'm going to go with 4 times 10. Why am I picking 4 times 10 instead of 8 times 5? Yeah, because I know how to do the square root of 4, right? If I was doing a cube root, I'd pick the 8. So this is the square root of 4 times the square root of 10, which gives me...
Would you leave it as root 10 or would you turn it into 2 times 5?
Either way. So what can I evaluate at least? Square root of 4 is 2, and then I might leave it as 2 root 10, or I might say 2 root 2 root 5, depending on what I'm going for. Right, if there's other root 2's in the problem, I'm going to go for this one. If there are other root 10's kicking around, I'm going to go for that one. Okay, see that? So either or. All right, how about the cube root of 24? Why'd you pick the 8 instead of the 6 and the 4?
Wait.
Yeah, because I know there's a cube root for 8. You guys see that? So I want to factor this thing, but I want to factor it in a convenient way. If I miss the fact that 8 has a cube root, factor it all the way. So if I factor it all the way, right? Taking 24, that's 2 times 12, that's 2 times 6. 6 is 2 times 3. So I get a 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, right? And I'm supposed to be taking a cube root. You guys see that? So I could rewrite this as the cube root of 2 cubed times the cube root of 3. You guys all see that? Then what?
Do you want to take it down?
Yeah, I mean, I want to simplify, right? So the cube root of 2 cubed is
2.
2. Really, kind of think the root and the 3 cancel, right? So I get 2 cube roots of 3. Can I do anything else with that?
No.
No. Right, the other way to do this would be to say, okay, the cube root of 24 is the cube root of 8 times the cube root of 3. Right? And then you get the same thing. It's just a question of whether you saw the 8 in there or not. Cool. All right, how about C? What can I do with C? So I've got 3 root 28s minus 5 root 63s. Careful. So you want to subtract the 3 and the 5, right? Some of you? Why can't you do that?
Because they're not the same.
Yeah, because they need to be like terms, right? And they're not right now.
But they can be the same.
Maybe I could make them like terms. We can, and we should. So we say, all right, this is 3 times the square root of 4 the square times the square root of 7, right? Minus 5 square root of 9 square root of 7. Okay, and then what do I say? Oh, the square root of 4 is 2.
So
Times 3 is 6, square roots of 7, minus 3 times 5 is 15 square roots of 7. And now they match, right? Now they're like terms. So now I can say this is negative 9 square roots of 7.
Nice.
You guys see that? All right. How about D? What can I simplify with D? So I've got the cube root of 40 x to the 5th, y to the 4th.
I know about the x's.
So we're gonna go with the 8 again.
Okay.
Okay.
So 40 is, let's see. So we're going to say this is the cube root of 8 times 5. Okay. Let's see. What else can I get in there?
We
Oh,
have
yeah.
3 x's there, so we've got.
That be x cubed x.
You guys see that? So I've got 5 x's multiplied together here, right? I want to group 3 of them together because the cube root will take care of the fact that there's 3 of them. So I'm going to group 3 of them together. That's x cubed.
And then x squared.
And then there's 2 more, so I get an x squared.
Do you want to do the same with the y?
Oh yeah, let's do the same thing for the y. So what's the, how many y's are there?
Y cubed.
Y.
Y cubed times y. Okay, and then I say, all right, so that's the cube root of 8 times the cube root of 5 times the cube root of x cubed times the cube root of x squared times the cube root of y cubed times the cube root of y. Pretty down with that? Yeah.
Did you cube the variables so that you could cancel with the square root?
Yeah, I took, right, I was asking, what do I cube to get things, right?
Yeah.
So,
So it would just
I know what I cubed to get x cubed.
Yeah.
Just x. Right? So this was basically an attempt to say, okay, this thing groups things by 3's, right? So let me go through and group things by 3's. So let's see, which ones can I simplify and which ones are left over? Cube root of 8's 2. There's an x.
Y.
So when you're doing this,
Wait.
you probably want to keep track of which ones you've done, right? So I usually do something like underline them because I don't want to have to rewrite this step if I dork something up. Like this one I took care of, that one I took care of. Oh, there's a y.
So the cube root of 5 of x squared y.
Okay, and then all the rest of these guys are under a cube root still, right? So there's a 5, an x squared, and a y. So that's 5, x squared, and a y. You guys see that?
No.
Playing along?
Yeah, I was gonna do y. Cancel the two y's because they're not the same.
Yeah, so these guys don't go together because this one's under a cube root and that one's not. The other way we could write this, so another option would be to say, okay, this is a 1/3 power, right? So do the numbers the way you do the numbers. You're going to get 2 cube roots of 5, right? That's the 40. And then there's x to the 5th cube root and y to the 4th cube root. So this is the like 10.2 way to do it. This might be the like 10.5 way to do it. Either way. Cool?